Good morning, Coco friends. I'm taking off my glasses. Okay, let's start with our dynamic stretching warm-up, and we're going to get going in today's workout. So the workout today is a different format. Hopefully all of you can see it on your screens, but we'll go through it. Right now I'm starting with warming up my arms and my chest, swinging them back and forth. I'm standing nice and tall, keeping my pelvis nice and still, beginning on warming up my core. Now I'm going to go into my small circles. I hope everyone's feeling well. Looking forward to the rain and the snow later. Boo. So today is the second class that I have done. Carrie and Lee did a demo class with me on Wednesday, and it went pretty well. We had a little bit of hiccups, but hopefully not too many. So as I mentioned early on, I am going to be recording these workouts and posting them on a YouTube channel. So they will be available for you. You can share with friends, especially Coco friends, but it's not exclusive for our Coco members. I want you to feel like anyone who wants some exercise, wants to share in a sense of community, that they should be free to participate. Okay, so let's start warming up our lower half. Let's put hands on hips, knees softly bent, and let's start with our hip hinges. So always being mindful of keeping your core nice and engaged, belly button to spine, shoulders getting level with hips, heels driving to the ground, hamstrings and glutes pulling you to vertical. Once those muscles, glutes and hamstrings start feeling warmed up, then let's go into our body weight squats. I always end up folding my arms and extending my elbows straight out and trying to keep them level with my shoulders. By doing that, I feel like I'm better able to control whether my shoulders are dropping, which you don't want in your body weight squat. Okay, hopefully everyone's starting to feel a little warm. Here's our format for today. You can see on the screen, it's called Super 8. For those of you that have done my classes, I always like having themes. In Super 8, it means we're gonna do 8 repetitions of each exercise. Okay, so we're gonna start with the upper left-hand corner. So what we have is skaters, sumo squat with tricep extension, single leg glute bridge, each leg. Now, the 8 comes in where it's going to be 8 repetitions of each movement. So we'll go 8 skaters, 8 sumo squats with tricep extensions, 8 glute bridges with each leg. We're going to follow that over and over and over again for 5-minute periods. So it's as many reps as possible in that 5 minutes. Tailor it for you, the work that you're able to do. So now let's go over what each exercise is. Okay, for a skater, sometimes I lose track of what I'm doing on skaters, as Carrie and Sarah know. So I always start reaching down with hand to my opposite ankle bone. And then I'm moving side to side. Now, you can manage this according to what you're able to do with your mobility. So our goal is to reach down for the opposite ankle bone, arms extended. Try and think about them nice and long. As you're able, you can add a little bit more plyometrics into it and be hopping nice and wide. My goal when I'm here at the club is to hop from one end of the mat to the other. Okay, so that's the first one. So it'll be 8 back and forth. Okay, then we have sumo squat with the tricep extension. So for those of you that have your body weight with you, or those of you who have your cans of soup or jugs of water, you can either hold onto your dumbbell by the ears or this way, or if you have 2, you're free to use 2. Sumo squat is toes out, heels in, nice and wide. So a sumo squat is dropping in with the core nice and straight. Now when we add in the tricep extension, we're gonna go down and bend and rise. So that's your sumo squat with the tricep extension. Now the last one is a single leg glute bridge, left and right. So ideally you're on your back in a glute bridge And then you're gonna float up a leg, rest your dumbbell on your hips, and drive a nail into the ceiling. You're focusing on trying to keep that leg nice and still and straight. And the leg that's in the ground, that hamstring and glute are driving all the work. Core is engaged, pelvis stays in parallel. For those of you that cannot get on the ground comfortably or quickly, the modification is with a folding chair. So if you need to go get a folding chair, please do so now. So with your folding chair then, you're gonna sit on the edge of your chair, hands under armpits. I have my legs extended out, toes off the ground, heels digging in, and I'm gonna hold my butt up as well as I am able. Okay, now in this, you're getting nice work in your lats to obliques, and then as you're able, you're gonna lift one leg up, and the leg can be either bent or straight. And you wanna focus on keeping the hips parallel and the leg floating up. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, guys, is we start our 5 minutes. Kevin's gonna post it out on the back. We're all gonna work, and I'm gonna continue to demo various levels of work here. So I will do it both on the fullest level of the progression at the highest level, and then I might also be demoing the modifications that you can be doing. So I'll continue to talk as we go through. Hopefully none of you have any questions because you're all muted. With that, Kevin, set the timer for 5 minutes. All right, I can do that. I'm going to, all right, you're all unmuted. Does anyone have any questions?
Nope. So Jen,
yes.
Your camera is tilting down so that when you lay down, we can't see you.
Okay, I'll have Kevin modify that. When I'm laying down, they can't see me. So, oh, well, I won't get close now. Okay, thank you, Carrie. That's my fault. I kind of moved around too much. Okay, all right. You guys are going on mute and we're gonna go to work for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we get a break. There might be a mystery grab in there, just warning you. Okay, ready, steady, and go. Okay, here we go. I'm putting my dumbbell out of the way so I don't hurt myself, and I'm counting from my 8. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I'm reaching for my dumbbell. I'm gonna grab this by the ears. I've got 7 pounds right now. Heels in, toes out. Squat and rise. 2, 3, 4. And I'm really focusing on trying to keep my rib cage closed as my arms are overhead. Core is nice and tight. Don't wanna lean forward on those sumo squats. Okay, now I'm gonna start with the modification for glute bridges. So I am seated at the edge of my chair, shoulders nice and stacked, hands into the ground, lats through obliques engaged. I'm pushing my butt off the chair, focusing on still in my pelvis. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I'm gonna switch to the other leg, reset, neutral pelvis, belly's nice and tight. And I'm trying to focus on really nothing else is moving but the hinging in the joint of my leg. I'm able to create a ton of stability. And I'm losing count, but I'm continuing. All right, back to my skaters. And skaters are a great movement to help continue to get you warmed up. I like to add a little hop in there, but it definitely gets my heart rate going. Okay, now I'm gonna grab 2 for my sumo squat to tricep extension, heels in, toes out, core nice and tight. Now it's a little bit harder when you have 2. Think about keeping your elbows knitted together. Good. Okay, now I'm gonna do the traditional glute bridge format. So I'm flat on my back. I call this stargazer pose. Knees are aligned with my hips, feet on the ground. I'm gonna push my heels to the ground, elevating my pelvis, making sure that it's nice and neutral. So now I have this neutral spine, but elevated pelvis. Hands into the ground, activating lat to oblique. Heavy left heel as my right leg floats up over my hip. I'm gonna flex my foot, and then I'm gonna lower and extend my pelvis, only driving my pelvis to neutral. And the leg that's in the ground is the muscles that are working along with my core, lats and obliques. So I'm thinking glute and hamstrings in my left leg. All right, then I'm gonna lower and switch legs. All right, heavy right heel, left leg's extending, aligned over my hip, lowering and straightening, or I'm sorry, lowering and lifting my pelvis. My hands are active into the mat. I'm imagining that I'm tapping a nail into the ceiling. Then I like to maintain this level, and I lower my leg and I check in. Oh wow, did I keep my pelvis still? I sure did. Okay, now I'm coming back up for my skaters. And I'm continuing to work hard throughout. This is 5 minutes of work. You all can do it. I believe in you. All right, 50 seconds, guys. Keep working hard. Okay, I'm to my sumo squats again. Now, as I do more sumo squats, I find that my hip mobility gets a little better. Now, I've got 2 dumbbells. If you need to put your hands together with 2 dumbbells, feel free to do so. It does create more support. So the question is, do you need the more support, or do you want to let each arm work on its own? Okay, back to my glute bridges. All right, now I'm going to put weight on my on the ground glute bridges. All right, and I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because we've got 5 seconds left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good, time's up. Nice work. All right, everyone come back to standing. Relax that head and neck. Grab a quick drink. If you don't have one here, we're going for our first mystery grab. For those of you that aren't familiar with mystery grabs, we introduced this notion back when we had some challenges. And here is our mystery grab bucket. All right. All right, here is our first mystery grab. We have body weight squats. All right, so what does that mean? Kevin, please put 80 seconds up on the board. Let's go. We have body weight squats for 80 seconds. Remember, do what you can safely and effectively. Rest when you need to. All right, feet into the ground, knees are soft. Tighten my belly. My hips are gonna go back, and I'm gonna lower myself to the ground and drive up. You ready? 80 seconds. 80 seconds, Kev. Oh, start it over. Oh, ready, set, go. And we're not counting. This is easy work. My mind is visualizing. My weight's in my heels. My core is engaged. Really don't think about your knees. Think about the muscles you want to be using here. When I do squats, I always like to think about my hamstrings and inner thighs. When I focus on my quads too much, then I start loading up that pressure into my knees, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so keep your knees out of it. If you feel like your knees are getting into it, go a little more shallow. Okay. Hey, Doug, just so you know, I'm playing Throwback Thursday covers for you.
Jennifer, your goddaughter is joining you too now.
All right, awesome. All right, I think that's time. Oh no, it's not time. I don't know what that buzz was. Okay. Ooh, I'm starting to feel the burn. Man, my arms are getting tired hanging out here. All right, there we go. Nice work. All right, shake those legs out. Now we truly do get a little minute to rest. All right, so we're going on to our second circuit, upper right-hand corner. Okay, so for those of you that have not, well, I did introduce this notion of the chair, but I'll demo it first without. We're gonna start with side kicks, standing side kicks. Okay, so standing side kicks, John would be very proud of us because we're working on our self-defense tools, and Sarah's gonna be dancing while she does this. I can see it in my mind's eye. Okay, these are standing side kicks, okay? Left and right. We're gonna do it 8 on the right, 8 on the left, or if you want to do 8, 8, 1, 1, 2, 2. Now, for those of you that don't feel comfortable with your balance, grab that folding chair out in front, hands underneath, and use that folding chair for balance. Now, what we're focusing on here with our side kicks is obliques, your side muscles here, and your glutes, your side butt, okay? So you wanna pull that knee up, maintain a straight spine, and then splash that heel. Snap it out there. Try and keep that foot parallel to the earth as you are able. That's gonna activate more glutes, a little bit less of the quads, but that's what we want. Okay, the next is inchworms. So inchworms, you're gonna stand feet in parallel. You're gonna lower yourself down to the ground, walk yourself out into high plank, throw in a push-up if you want, whenever you want. Walk yourself back up. That is 1. Okay, for those of you that cannot comfortably get into a high plank, then we're gonna use the chair. We're gonna lower ourselves down to the chair, extend back to your high plank, and back in. If you are able and want to, you can add a little elbow bend and come back up. All those are entirely up to you. I'm not watching, I have my glasses off. Okay, all right, and the last one is boat pose with an overhead press. So boat pose with an overhead press, we're again reaching for our dumbbells, so go find them. You can do 1 or 2. Here's your good boat pose. Knees are parallel to hips as are feet. Don't let them kiss together. We want to use those inner thighs. Leaning back on your sacrum. You can keep feet on the ground or feet up. This is your overhead press with your dumbbells. You can use 2. You can do feet on the ground, or for those of you that cannot comfortably get onto the ground, again, use your folding chair. Same alignment, seat at the edge of your chair, and you're leaning back slightly, so using your core to hold your spine in position, don't slump, and press overhead. Okay, that's our next circuit. All right, so starting with those standing side kicks. Kevin, you got the timer ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going left. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You see how my balance got bad there? Wow. Okay, now I'm down for my inchworms. I'm gonna inchworm towards you. Now, as I go down and walk out of my inchworms, I wanna stay level. I don't want my core to get all crazy. So you really have to engage lats to obliques to make that happen. Stay level, stay level. 2, and we are really squeezing through lat, oblique, and chest. Think about your body setup. Pelvic floor, transverse, rib cage closing. Keep the tension out of your neck as you get out to your high plank, wrists under armpits. Stop for a second there. Not to rest, but to evaluate. How does my body feel right now? Is my pelvic floor lifted? My feet should be slightly separated so that I can feel the engagement of my pelvic floor to support my hips. I don't want my hips sinking, and I don't want my shoulder blades to come together too tightly so my chest opens up. All right, now boat pose overhead press. So I'm grabbing my dumbbell. I'm gonna go ahead and sit back in my boat pose. I'm starting with heels on the ground, but I'm gonna lift them. And I'm thinking about carrying the weight of my legs, not in my hip flexors in the crease. That'll burn. Try and transfer that energy up to your obliques and stay as still as you can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, now I'm back to the top, my side kicks. Woo! All right, that got my obliques. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, great. Inchworms. Okay, you guys can watch me from the side here as I do this. I'm really trying to stay as level as I can. Shoulders down. Strengthen my lats, obliques. I'm going to throw in a push up. All right, now I'm going to demo from the chair for those of you that need that. Okay, I'm lowering my hands to the chair. I'm going to extend out to my high plank and back in for 1. And when I reach out to my high plank from my chair, I'm thinking in my armpits, obliques, pelvic floor lifting, transverse wrapping, rib cage closing. My weight, I'm not squeezing all this tension into my legs, trying to squeeze all that tension into my core to support my spine. For this last one, I'm going to throw in just that little push-up I talked about. Tiny push-up. All right, good. And now I got boat pose overhead press. I'll demonstrate that on the chair as well. Okay, edge of the chair. Feet extending down from my hips, leaning back a little bit on my sacrum. I'm going to maintain a nice neutral spine. I'm not rounding. I'm closing my rib cage as I go, not letting my shoulder blades creep up in my back. Good, okay, back at the top. Side kicks, all right. So I haven't demoed side kicks with the chair. Okay, so here I am, I'm trying to stay as tall as I can. I'm using this for balance. Good, switching sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, under a minute, guys. Come on, let's go. Inchworm, oh, I love inchworm. I love inchworm. All right, for those of you that want a little something, something in this inchworm, I'm gonna go out to high plank and I'm gonna roll over to a rotation. For those of you that have it in your ability to push yourself, please do so. You all are strong and powerful individuals. Yeah. And we're almost halfway done. Oh, look at that. Time. All right. Mystery grab, yay! All right, I'm gonna grab a little tissue, little water, little mystery grab. Again, this mystery grab is gonna be for 80 seconds, all right? Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, easy work. High plank, that's it. Now you can add in all the modifications that you want or things to make it more intense for you. But let me show you first the modifications for those of you that are worried about being able to hold high plank for 80 seconds, okay? The first modification would be back to our chair. If you are able to do high plank with the chair, that's a great one, okay? So just reaching down, getting into high plank here. If you need to, you can soften your knees. It will send a little bit more weight into your lat to obliques, but try that. For us folks that want to try the high plank for the whole time, let's coach through it, okay? Start off in tabletop, support your knees with pillows if you need to. Wrists should be under armpits. Your lats are loaded, not your shoulders and neck. I like to exhale as I send one leg at a time out. Okay, I feel everything loaded in my spine. Nothing's going. Kevin started the timer. Nothing's in my leg. My legs are nice and loose. I can be down on my elbows if this is better for me, but I'm gonna take it into high plank. Now, I'm not gonna gaze down and look at my feet. I wanna be nice and neutral in my neck. I'm releasing the tension. I'm thinking, my body setup. Inner thighs are leading up to my pelvic floor. Awesome. Transverse is deepening, wrapping as belly button pulls the spine. Awesome. And my rib cage is closing as my lats get heavy. You better not restart it. I've been doing this. All right, set it for 40 more seconds, Kev. Oh. Oh boy, what happened to our timer? All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, bring yourself back into your tabletop. Go down into child's pose. Grab your breath here, okay? Nice job. Great job with the second Mr. Grab. All right, we're moving on to round 3. Okay, get your water. I'll demo round 3. I'm gonna get a little slurpy here. Okay, round 3, lower left-hand corner. We have jumping jacks, followed by what? More plank? Single leg lift. Okay, so we'll talk about single leg lift, what that looks like, and the modifications for you guys on single leg lift. Okay, jumping jacks, we all know the traditional jumping jack. You also can do step jacks. And as you're doing this, think about keeping your arms parallel to your ears and really the articulation of the muscles in the chest and the back. We're thinking open. Open your chest, open your back. Reach as far away from your midline as you can. It should feel good. Okay, now high plank single leg lift with the chair. You can do donkey kicks. All right, so I'm here supported because this purpose of single leg lift is to activate a little more hamstring work. So this will work. You can also step back and do single leg lift here. And then if you're on the ground, high plank single leg lift, you can do low plank as well, but high plank single leg lift, again with the breath, you're really activating because you're gonna do a 3-legged dog and you're gonna lift one leg. It's gonna just float off the ground while the other leg gets really heavy. Now, you're gonna do 8 repetitions and you wanna stay as still as possible. If you were here in class, I would be putting a yoga block on your hips to make sure the yoga block stayed in place. So you just have to use your imagination, the imaginary yoga block, to keep your hips in place. Remember, scapular stability and pelvic stability is the main idea, and then we're creating movement. Okay, so you gotta be strong in the core, pelvic floor, inner thighs, and then hamstrings floating. So we'll do one leg then the other. All right, you guys got it? Kevin, do we got a timer? All right, awesome. All right, so 5 minutes. Let's go. Ready, steady, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I'm getting down into, now I always like to get in a high plank from tabletop. So I can think wrists under armpits, knees under hips, extend straight back. All right, and then I'm gonna breathe into my lats to obliques because I gotta stay totally supported. No one likes a crooked table. There's no sugar packets holding you up here. That would be a lot of sugar packets. And other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I just had to do an autocorrect because I felt like my leg was outside of my hips and I really want to stay in good alignment. Shoulders, hips, legs straight lines, no angles coming out. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Now, if chair donkey kicks don't work for you, we can do donkey kicks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3. And again, perfect alignment. This modification of donkey kicks for these high plank single leg lift are a good one, but remember, try and keep those hips in parallel. It's hard to do it perhaps without someone keeping an eye on you, but just think, my hips are in parallel, my shoulders are in parallel. I'm just driving a little thumbtack to the ceiling. Okay, back to, let's try elbow plank version. Okay, all right, elbows under armpits. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I'm gonna reset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, whew. Back to jumping jacks. Holy moly, only halfway done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't shake your head at me, Kevin. Whew. High plank. All right, I always do that little alignment thing there to make sure I'm finding the right spot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holy, 2 minutes. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And planks. You guys may be killing me after this workout. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, my arms are getting tired. All right, here we go. All right, but the idea is to keep moving. So even if you have to make your modifications, do it. Try to use your breath to slow down your heart rate. Be a ninja. Throw in some extra jumping jacks. That's what I'm doing. Not looking forward to this high plank, but here I go. All right. Now my right toes are really heavy. Left toes heavy, hamstrings pulling. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, 20 seconds, let's go. We can do this, I believe. Two, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Oh, all right. Cutting the corner just a little bit there. Time. Phew. All right. Okay. I'm grabbing my water. Yes, we have one more mystery grab before the next round. All right. Oh. I think I should redraw. Hand release push-ups. Are you guys up for it? Good thing I can't hear you. Okay, hand release push-ups for 80 seconds. Ah. Okay. Now, the good thing about hand release push-ups is that you control the tempo on this, right? Hand release push-ups are a progressional way to get you into doing better push-ups. It activates your chest, your arms, your core, obviously, but also your back. Okay, so hand release push-ups. I'm gonna have Kevin go ahead and start the timer as we walk through it, okay? We're gonna take advantage. All right, so we're gonna step back into our high plank. We're gonna lower ourselves with control to the ground and then snap up to Superman, really squeezing everything on the posterior. Then hands and feet both go into the ground at the same time, engage your core and press up. And repeat, lower with control, snap to Superman. Hands and feet, engage your core, press up to high plank. And repeat. All right, only 30 seconds. We got it. Oh, I didn't have my pelvic floor activated there. I'm gonna hold my Superman for just a second, let my heart rate get under control. Whew. Keep working as you're able, guys. Oh, and time. All right, good work. Okay, last round. Get a drink. Okay. So lower right-hand corner, we have plank ladders. That's kind of new. I don't think we've ever done it in class before, but you guys will get it, I'm confident. Bent over tricep kickbacks, that you need your 2 dumbbells, and then curtsy lunge bicep curl. Also, you need your 2 dumbbells or your 2 cans of soup, whichever. So starting from the bottom, curtsy lunge bicep curl. So with the curtsy lunge, I'm gonna be stepping, instead of straight back, I'm to the side a little bit. And I'm going to, basically it comes from the notion of curtsying to the queen or the king. So I'm lowering with control. I still have my good alignment, knee over ankle, over toe, core is nice and tight and straight. Curtsy and curl, curtsy and curl, okay? That's your curtsy lunge. Bent over tricep kickback. We're here in our nice bent over position. Elbows locked into ribs and kicking back, straightening the arms. That isometric hold as the arms extend. So that's your bent over tricep kickback. The last element is plank ladders. Okay. So plank ladders are a little bit plyometric. You start off in a high plank and you hop in and out. 1, 2, and out. 1, 2, and out. Now, if that is not, you want to keep your butt down as much as you can. If you cannot do that comfortably in terms of those hops, you can try and step in into a tuck and step back out. That would be a nice modification. You could also do a plank jack. All right, so from the chair, same thing. In terms of modification, you can hop, hop, and out into high plank. You can step up and back down. Remember, guys, the idea is to keep moving, keep your core engaged, and protect your spine. Okay, that said, Kevin, let's start the 5-minute timer, okay? So remember, revolutions, repetitions of 8 for 5 minutes. Ready, go. All right, bent over tricep kickbacks. I like to start with a nice upright position to make sure that I'm gonna keep my spine straight, feet wide apart, softly bend at the knees, lowering with control, spine nice and straight. Elbows are locked in, squeezing as arms are straight. As little movement as possible. All that's happening here is a nice little hinge at the elbow. Did y'all see how I didn't have my neck properly positioned? Oh my goodness. I gotta gaze down. All right, now curtsy, lunge, bicep curl. Okay, stepping back, curtsy and curl. Arms are straight as I curtsy, curl as I rise. Now with lunges, I know I harp on this a lot with you guys. Think with your back butt, not all about the quads. So as that foot goes in the back, squeeze that butt. And I've lost track, so I'm gonna stop after this one. Keep it even on both sides. Okay, back to my planks. Hop, hop, 2, hop, hop, 3. All right. And bent over tricep kickbacks. All right. Now a good way to get up from here is to use a nice lunge. So squeeze that back butt, get those weights, rise straight. Now get into your bent over position. Knees softly bent, bend over, elbows locked to ribs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as we get tired, we just have 2 more minutes here. We're really focusing on continuing to move as we're able, staying safe. Lunge and curl, lunge and curl. Now, whatever weights you have might not be that challenging for your biceps. So just think of it as an extra load for your core. Can I still keep my core really still, even though I'm throwing these weights around? Or do a raise. Sarah, that's for you. I know how much you love them. Good, okay. 90 seconds, let's go. Okay, last round of plank ladders, I just know it. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Now, you could also do tricep kickbacks from a kneeling position. So, bent over, inner thighs engaged. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now you cannot do curtsy lunge from a kneeling position, so let's get up. Nice try. Okay. I'm gonna do lateral raises now, just to give myself another something to whine about later. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, time. Good job. Grab some water. We'll stretch a little. I won't get too close. I know. Sorry, Carrie. Okay. The unmute. Yes. All right. I'm going to unmute you guys as we stretch. Unmute all. Okay. Good work, guys. Now. How was
awesome,
it?
Jen.
Ah,
Felt good, Jen.
oh, good.
Nice and sweaty.
Me too. Carrie.
I'm here. I turned off the video on my thing because I didn't want you guys to see me.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, can you believe Kevin turned off the fans? I'm dying.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot here.
Yes. All right. So let's stretch a little. Okay. So
See
you
ya.
can either be seated in your chair or on your buns. If you need to check off, that's okay. I understand. I'm seated on my buns. My legs are extended.
Scoot back, Jen.
Oh, how's that? Better. Okay. I'm gonna just start leaning forward, melting my torso, my spine down in toward the mat. I'm gonna let my head get nice and heavy. Now, try to keep your belly button tucked in here as you're able. And don't feel like this is really starting with a good hamstring stretch. Think about it as a nice back stretch. And now I'm stretching my arms out in front of me. And I am going for a little hamstring stretch.
Good. It's a great idea.
All right, now I'm gonna go over onto one side, put my wrist under my armpit. I'm gonna reach for my top leg. And I'm going to, my goal here is to stretch out my quad. So I have my right arm under my right armpit, and my hand is grasping my left ankle, and my knee is under my hip, and I'm stretching this quad. I could also come down on my elbow, or I can lay down on my side. All those modifications are good. Try and make that leg dead in your hand.
Let's see any of this.
All right, now I'm gonna roll over to the other side. Kevin's chilly. I don't feel sorry for him. Okay, so I have right ankle in, right hand. I'm on my left elbow. I can lower myself down to the mat, rest my head on my arm. And now I'm going to come up over into child's pose because I really think we need a little child's pose. That was a lot in the shoulders. Was anyone else getting really tired in plank?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It was just,
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
boy, he's such a lightweight.
What's that? Aaliyah, how was the workout?
Tiring.
Tiring. That's my niece, everyone. She joined in.
Nice.
Yes.
Sorry, Aaliyah.
I'm crawling my fingers over to one side, over to the left
Jen,
to open up my right. Yeah.
I was virtually trying to do it with you while I was working.
That doesn't count.
I know. I have to get this done though.
Lizzie.
Okay, and I'm walking my hands over to the right now, opening up my left side. Okay, guys, I'm gonna crawl up to the screen. Okay, everyone, feel free to reach out to me if you have any comments or feedback. Again, my plan is to do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9. I will send out a communication about getting them loaded to a YouTube channel. So if you can't do it right now, James, you can do it later. And then also the Sunday stretch class. So if you plan on participating, we typically use a 6-foot PVC pipe as a backbone of the class. So hopefully you can put your hands on one of those in your garage They would only be like $5 at the hardware store, either a 3/4 inch or a 1 inch PVC pipe. Or if you have no other resources, you could use a broom handle. That would work in most circumstances as well. So with that, I'm going to sign off and yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I was just going to say, you could use ski poles.
Say that again,
We could
Michelle.
probably use ski poles too for a pipe. We could probably use ski poles for a pipe
Oh,
too if we
ski
needed to.
poles. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. I never thought of that, not being a skier.
Jen, if you post the, if you text us the YouTube link, we can send it out to people.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that. Feedback, always appreciated offline. Text me, email me. Have a great weekend, guys. I miss y'all so much. It's good to see everyone.
This was
Love you,
awesome,
bye.
Jen.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.